This is a 2018 Tesla Model 3. Now, this model in particular is the long range. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting with the exterior of the car and moving our way into the interior. All right, so taking a look at the front, first thing we notice is that there's no grille. Now moving to the headlights, we can just see how beautiful they are on this Tesla. The 3 layers, you see that? Just wow. And then moving over here, we can see the rims. Now these, the one on this model does have the brake calipers and the brake pads. Something else you'll notice about the Teslas is that they're covered by cameras in almost every angle. We have one here, we have one here, and we also have one here and here. Let's show you the back, what they look like. So you can see that they have the LED daylight running lights, and then we have the blinker on so you can see what they look like. Now taking a look at the car, something you'll notice is that the door handles do not look like normal door handles. Now, you usually just grab on something and you yank to open a door. Not with this one. Now with this one, it's a little different. You push in here, and then this part that comes out, you yank on that. So kind of the same, not really. Now, let's take a look at the interior. We have the center console right here. And it's pretty deep, I would say. We have a little tray. Let's put that back in there. And then we have the cup holder. Now the cup holder is a pretty good size. It's not crazy huge. I have a little thermal here that's a decent size, and as you'll see, it barely fits. Then we have this spot right here. Now it's has a good amount of space in there. All these storage areas are magnetic. Now they have a nice little flow to them, but to close them, you just slightly. If you push it hard, it's not going to close. See, it takes some getting used to, but if you close it like that, perfect. And same thing. So one thing we'll notice is that this car is very different to other cars, also in the manner that it doesn't really have that many buttons, right? In a traditional car, you'll have buttons are here, and then you'll have buttons are here, and then even more buttons over there. And this is because all the functions of the car are within the infotainment screen. If you want to change your side mirrors, you got to use the infotainment screen. If you want to adjust the steering wheel, you got to use the infotainment screen. If you would like to open the glove box, infotainment screen. So here's an example. If we wanted to adjust the mirrors, so we would go here and move this. If you move it upward, it's going to go upward. If you push it to the right, it's going to go to the right. Moving over to the infotainment screen, it comes standard on all the models. To show you just how overwhelming it is, just look at this. We have fold mirrors, child lock, window lock, glove box, adjust your mirrors, adjust your steering wheel, and then we have Sentry mode. Now, Sentry mode is just, it's like a security system for the car. It activates all the cameras while you're away, and it protects the car. So when it senses that somebody's nearby, it activates the screen and it lets them know that they're being watched. And then more controls. The windshield wipers, and then the different levels. Okay. And then moving on, we have pedal and steering. So right now our acceleration is at standard, but there's also a chill. Then we have steering mode, and the options are comfort. If you're just trying to enjoy the drive, nothing too crazy. Then we have standard for your everyday commutes. And then we have sport for when you're trying to hit those corners and you're just trying to move as quickly as you can. And that is something about this car. It is a fun car. The acceleration is crazy because they're electric. They don't have the traditional gearbox of an ordinary car. We have stopping mode next. Now this, we have the creep option, which is it's basically the car's version of moving slowly when the gas pedal is being released. Then we have roll, which allows the car to roll and continue while your foot is off the gas pedal. And then we have hold. It's basically when you're driving the car, and if you put your foot off of the gas pedal, it slows the car down. It's kind of like a sensation of braking, but you're not. You just lifted your leg off of the gas pedal. That's it. And it feels like the car's braking. So it's essentially driving, but only with one pedal. You're not driving with the traditional two. Now the downside is that your one leg that you're using to accelerate and to brake, that leg isn't going to be getting that good of a workout anymore because of this. And then we have regenerative braking, which is just what we talked about. It's when you lift your foot off of the gas pedal and you feel that sensation of the car braking. That sensation is the car regenerating the batteries, and it's a great way to extend your range. See, the car even has a slip start, which is an option that you could turn on to help your car become free if it gets stuck in snow, sand, or mud. Now we're going to the charging tab. This will show you your current battery level, and it's also a place where you can open your charge port. And it also shows you how much you've paid at your last charging session. The last time I charged it, I only paid $10.20. And that was for charging it from like 30% to 80%. Then we have autopilot, which allows your car, depending on which version you have, drive by itself, or even come to you when you call for it, or you summon it. Now you can think of the summon feature as you're at the store, you came out with your groceries, and you don't feel like walking to your car. You have a Tesla, so you get your phone out, you summon it via the app, and it comes straight to you. Now it's gotten to the point in the United States that all you got to do is you input an address in here. Let's just say the supercharger, right? And it gives us our destination. And then now all you have to do is you activate the autopilot on here. And then once you do that, it drives you to your destination. You don't have to do anything. Okay, you might have to do something, and that's just keep your hands on the wheel, because the system only works if you keep your hands on the wheel. If you take them off, then it deactivates. And it does all of the standard stuff that all the other cars do. It could pace cars, see? It could change lanes by itself. So of course with Teslas, your phone is the key in addition to the Tesla card. Then we have the child locks. If you have some daring critters who like to open the door when the car is moving. Then we have the window locks for those same critters. And some other features that we have are lock confirmation sound, which is just like a beep. The beep that you get after you lock your car. We also have another option of closing the windows on lock. Now moving on to lights. We have the dome lights, and the dome lights are just, those are the dome lights. And then you could turn them off by just clicking them again. Little delay, which is nice. And then we have two sorts of appearances, and they switch depending on if it's daytime or nighttime. We're just gonna go with the light, which is what we have here already. But if it's nighttime, then we're gonna go with dark, which you'll see now. And then we have here where we can set the brightness. And then we have this little neat feature called screen clean mode. So what you do is you click it, and now you can see all the fingerprints in it. And you just hold it to exit, and then exit in 3, 2, 1. So some of the models do have voice recognition, so you could talk to it just like you do to any assistant. Now going on the trips, it's a little neat little feature that shows you how many miles you have, how many miles you have driven. So as you can see in my current drive, I've driven 4 miles since my last charge. I've driven 4 miles on this current drive, and it's been about 31 minutes. And I've been using about 219 watts per mile. And then since my last charge, I've driven 28 miles and used 8 kilowatts of energy. And my average energy is 267 watts per mile. And then in the service tab, you can see your tire pressure. Okay, now that we're through with all those, we can take a look. Now, you can make calls, the reverse camera. It has some neat features too. So theater is where you would go to see the Netflix, Hulu, Disney. And then we have the arcade, and then we have Toy Box, which is a place where you can change the color of how your car appears. And the arcade mode is basically a place where you can play all kinds of games. Now the Tesla Model 3 also has Easter eggs. The romance. So in the romance mode, it turns on the screen and it gives you a gives you a little romantic setting. It turns up the heat. It's gonna warm up the seats. And then as you can hear, it has some tunes playing. Another honorable mention is the emissions. It's kind of a fart prank where you could program the car to fart and make it sound like it came from this seat, or where I'm sitting right now, or one of the seats back there. Now, how it works, now we can move it. You see? And you can put it to fart on demand, or you can do it to fart on turn signals. If you put it on fart on demand, you're gonna control when it farts. And you do this by pressing the left scroll wheel. And it's gonna sound from over here in my seat where it's programmed to fart on turn signal. And all you do, the turn signals being over here, all you do is you're gonna shift it and it farts. For our last honorable mention, we have the Mars. With this one, it basically transforms your map of this into the surface of Mars. So as you can see, we just turned it on, and now we're gonna switch it to our map, and look, now our map is the surface of Mars, and we're here in our rover. All right, and now that we took that off, well, we're back. We're back to Earth and not Mars. Let's now check out the back seats. So all you do is you push the button right here, and it opens the door for you. All right, now that we're in the back seat, I would say that I'm pretty comfortable and I have plenty of space. Now the thing is, if you're above 6 foot, then you're probably gonna be tight up here. And as you can see, there's no support here, which could get you in trouble in long road trips. But I have plenty of room with my seat how I like it, as back, so that I'm comfortable up there. You can still see that I have plenty of room. And I can even move up to get more comfort down here. So the sunroof has been graded to keep out 90% of UV rays. Now just look at how beautiful it is. It spans and it continues till the end. Now, a few problems that the Tesla Model 3 has are this section right here, which obstructs your view. Now, another problem that I've noticed with the Tesla Model 3 is that when you're steering, that I slightly touch it and it messes with the volume. When I'm trying to steer it left or right, it messes with the volume. Now, something else that I've noticed is the GPS. Now, the navigation, it works smoothly. It's super responsive, and it does everything it should. Now, I've had a problem with the Tesla Model 3's navigation system, and the problem is that I've been getting off of the highway because I thought that it was telling me to get off, and then I realized that it wasn't telling me to get off. So there's some confusion there. Now I come from using Google Maps a lot, and using Tesla's system, I don't know, there's something about it that is inherently confusing to me. All right, guys, it is time for the test drive. So first we're gonna start off with everyday streets, and then we'll do a few runs to see the acceleration and to really show you what it's like to drive a Tesla. See, so right now I'm using navigation, and when I'm driving through the cities, I don't have that same problem. Everything is clear. My problem happens when I'm driving on the highway, and it's telling you, it looks like it's telling you to merge off, to get off of the highway, but it's not. But when you're driving in the city, everything is clear, very simple. I've never had a problem driving with it. So driving it, it's very, very quiet. You do not hear much. The regenerative brakes, really something. Being able to drive with just one pedal instead of having to transition from brake and gas, or if you're driving a manual, from brake, gas, and clutch. It's really a different experience. And then putting your foot down, how quickly it comes out of it. Like right now, we're driving through some windy roads. We're not throttling it, and just how nimble and how quick it is to come out of turns. It handles well. The power is instant. So when you floor it, you hear the humming, but like just humming of the electric parts. And then when you slow down, you can hear the regenerative brakes. Wow. Okay guys, forgot to show you guys the trunk and the front, which are two very important parts of the car. So let's go do it. The LED lights look from the back. They look really nice. I really like what they did with them. As you can see, there's a good amount of space. Now, I could fit a whole full-size suitcase in there. So you could fit a good amount of stuff in here. And just so you know, those seats should be able to come down. So if you need extra space. And this is the front. Now, it's not as big as the trunk, but you can still fit a good size of stuff in here. Like this morning, I went to go get some groceries, and I put everything in the front, and it fit good. And because it's not so big, things won't go flying around when you're driving. It'll be nice and compact. All right, so that's the review for the trunk and the front. Now let's go do the test drive for the acceleration run. Oh, we got a straightaway. Okay, so we're about to hit a... Oh my god. See now, it's yeah, you guys got a good facial expression. It's just crazy. The acceleration is just dummy quick and responsive. Like, it's immediate power at your footsteps. These cars are rated well in terms of safety. And that's because of their center of gravity, because they have a battery pack. It's very, very difficult to flip the car. It's very difficult to flip the car because of their center of gravity. It's a great car. Very quick, very fast. It hits all the right marks. So if you're looking for an electric car, then this definitely should be on your list. Tesla Model 3, the model that I'm driving today is the long range. It's a beautiful car, it's a great car, it's a reliable car. It's a car that you can't go wrong with.